Herkese
Ohio, Tokyo, konnichiwa, sumimasen, I foreigner. I don't speak Japanese, but I love Aoi Sora. When you say wakarimashita, I say Hitachi, Toyota, Kawasaki, Nintendo, Canon, Sony, Honda. I'm losing my way. Oh, so where should I go? Shinjuku so big. I need a Doraemon. You speak Japanglish. And show me body language. What can I do? Where should I go?
マクドナルド、グーグルトイレとキットカット、ディズニーランド、タクシーがホテル、セブンイレブンミルク、バス、ビール、スターバックス。
Ohio, Tokyo, konnichiwa, sumimasen, I foreigner. I don't
Assalamualaikum and hello. I'm Ahmad Takride. I will present the story of Tokyo, which about the old and present of Tokyo. Let's begin. In previous era, Tokyo was originally a fishing village called Edo. It was first fortified by the Edo clan in the 12th century, and 200 years later the famous Edo castle was built there. In 1509, the city became the center of government when Tokugawa Ieyasu became shogun and made it his hometown. With his reign, he also started a long time of peace that lasted over 250 years. The peace ended when the American Commodore Matthew C. Perry arrived in Japan, causing the harbor to open for foreign goods. This measure forced prices to rise until inflation. The people reacted violently, and the support of Emperor Meiji used the situation to overthrow Yoshinobu, the last Tokugawa shogun, in 1867. After the reign of the shogun had ended, Emperor Meiji moved from Kyoto to Edo. The city was renamed to Tokyo, which means Eastern Capital, and it became the official capital of Japan. Before that, it already was the center of politics and culture. Now the modern era has arrived. After the city merged with the prefecture of Tokyo into Tokyo Metropolis in 1943, it was successfully rebuilt and chosen to hold the Summer Olympics in 1964. The 1970s brought a massive development, and the population increased up to 11 million. After the war, it counted only 2.8 million. But the following 1980s grew a real estate and debt bubble that burst in 1990 caused an enormous recession. That time is called the lost decade of Japan, and the country recovered only slowly. And today, Tokyo is still growing from the inside and outside. It was named the third most livable city in the world. It counts the most Michelin star of all cities. It is the best overall experience for foreigners. The reasons to visit Tokyo are many, and from a small fishing village, it became one of the most famous and interesting cities in the world.
Tokyo is one of the world's most exciting dining destinations. The city features a wide range of both local and regional Japanese cuisine, in addition to all types of international fare. Its top restaurants have earned more Michelin stars than any other city in the world. But good food can be found at every price range, from cheap hole-in-the-wall joints to expensive high-class restaurants with every budget in between. Of course, like every region in Japan, you can find local specialty cuisine items such as nigiri sushi, tempura, soba, chanko nabe, and monjayaki. There are lots of casual dining restaurants of all types found across Tokyo. While restaurants are easy to find just about anywhere in the city, good places to go for a large variety of them are around train stations, entertainment districts, and the restaurant floors of most department stores, where there is usually a good selection of restaurants ranging from Japanese cuisine to international dining. Izakaya are the most common type of casual dining establishment and are good places to try a variety of Japanese foods. They can be found in droves around train stations and entertainment districts and serve popular food items such as sashimi, karage, and also beer. On the northwest side of Shinjuku Station is Omoide Yokocho, a small network of alleyways also known as Peace Alley. The narrow lanes are filled with dozens of tiny eateries serving mostly yakitori but also ramen, soba, or kushiyaki. Many of the restaurants consist of just a small counter and can seat less than a dozen diners, while larger ones may have a couple of tables or a second floor. A lively restaurants district can be found nestled beneath the train tracks around Yurakucho Station. The area is typically known as Yurakucho Gadoshita or Yakitori Streets due to the numerous yakitori restaurants in their area. But izakaya and casual international pubs are also popular. Diners can enjoy their meals surrounded by the chatter of other customers mixed in with the sound of train passing overhead. If you are at the Sensoji Temple in Asakusa, there is a 70 to 80 meter long street line with izakaya that exude a nostalgic charm. Nicknamed Hoppy Streets after a popular alcoholic drink sold in the area, the restaurants that line the road specialize in beef tendon stew and other shareable dishes that go well with drinks. Tokyo is home to various international communities which have brought a variety of different cuisine with them, while popular foods such as Chinese, Indian, Italian, French, and Korean can be found virtually anywhere in the city. There are also a few districts with concentrated ethnic specialties such as Koreantown in Shinjuku, Frenchtown in Kagurazaka, and Chinatown in Ikebukuro. It is safe to say there are dining establishments to accommodate all tastes and budget in Tokyo.
Anime, a hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan. Anime is a diverse art form with distinctive production methods and technique that have been adapted over time in response to emerging technologies. It combines graphic art, characterization, cinematography, and other forms of imaginative and individualistic technique. Japanese animation began in the early 20th century when Japanese filmmakers experimented with the animation technique, also pioneered in France, Germany, the United States, and Russia. Acclaim for the earliest Japanese animation is Katsudo Shashin, an undated and private work by an unknown creator. Later, on 1917, animators such as Oten Shimokawa and Seitaro Kitayama produced numerous works, with the oldest surviving film being Namakura Gatana, a 2-minute clip of a samurai trying to test a new sword on his target only to suffer defeat.
の動画や仕上げ、手書き部分 2D と 3D がハイブリッドしている作品なんですけど、その手書き部分はTB ペイントで作画をしました。で TB ペイントのこのスケッチパネル
After the anime has evolved throughout the years, with the development of advanced animation and computer graphic design, anime has one of the largest influence in Tokyo.
がしっかりと使いやすいようにできているので、とてもレイヤー構成とかがシンプルで分かりやすくできて、作業の
In Tokyo, anime is a massive industry. It's a form of cultural identity and power, and it is a hugely diverse scene. It is not a monolithic thing, but rather the name we give to a very broad category of different products. These, if not history, are the things that explain its success.
アフターエフェクトに持っていくのもすごいやりやすいような形で、作業ができるので、他のソフトにはできないような。
Also known as Anime Heaven or Anime City, it is the biggest anime shopping district in the world. In a few words, it is the best otaku spot for any anime or manga fan. There are a lot of attractions that can be found in the street of Akihabara. Some of it are anime or manga store, gashapon or Japanese toy capsule, anime theme cafe, and arcades. Even if you're not a big fan of Gundam, which is one of the popular mecha in anime, Digimon, or anime in general, this is one of the top attractions in Tokyo. These are some of the attractions that can be found here. Virtual reality attraction, a life-size unicorn Gundam, Gundam Cafe, the Gundam Base Tokyo, and Digimon real life location. Nakano Broadway is a small indoor anime district. Some of the items here are cheaper compared to the one in Akihabara, even though the place is smaller and there's fewer shops here. Studio Ghibli is the most famous animation film studio in Japan, which released numbers of award-winning films such as My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away, along with adorable anime characters. The Ghibli Museum is one and only museum showcasing the work and history of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki. The museum is located in Mitaka, Tokyo, and can be accessed within 30 minutes from Shinjuku Station. With a classic wooden atmosphere and an almost maze-like interior that have you ducking to fit through small doors and climbing up spiral staircases, the museum itself is one of Studio Ghibli's work and one that you can only ever experience in person. Okay, so that's it from me, and as we know, the anime is one of the celebrated culture in Tokyo, not just as a form of entertainment, but it represent the Japanese themselves and their cultural identity. And throughout the years, it has become a worldwide phenomena, and it has fans worldwide, and one of the most popular pop culture in the world, celebrated by his fans worldwide. And this really shows how much the culture meant for the people of Tokyo. If you don't believe me, you can ask this guy, Freedom here. He's been in the industry for about, I think 2004, for 16 years. This guy right here, and some of his buddy back there. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and make way for the next section, presented by my friend Faris Hakimi. So,
What's up, everyone? So, I heard that you're planning to visit Tokyo, right? Well, let me be the first person to say congratulations, because you're about to explore the magnificent Tokyo, where you can indulge yourself into the rich cultural society, as well as learning all sorts of tradition and enjoying the modernization of Tokyo, Japan. Now before you go, why don't you learn the brief history of Tokyo? Let's cue the clips!
The area, now known as Tokyo, began around the city of Edo, which established itself as a center of commerce, art, and high culture in Japan during the 17th and 18th century, known as the Edo period. It was renamed Tokyo and became the capital of Japan in 1869, after the Emperor Meiji moved from the former capital Kyoto, restoring imperial rule to Japan. During the late 19th century, Japan underwent rapid modernization and cultural change, including the building of roads, railways, and telecommunication lines. The popularity of Western hairstyles and fashion also replacing traditional top knots and kimonos, and the move to the cabinet system of government. The city was heavily damaged by the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923, and later during World War II. Cycles of economic booms and busts took place throughout the late 20th century, matched by the rise of consumerism and cycles of rapid population decline and growth in the city. Nowadays, Tokyo now has a population of 13 million people in the center and over 38 million including its metropolitan area, making it the largest city in the world.
If you remember, I've mentioned before that you can learn all sorts of tradition in Tokyo, Japan, but you may be wondering where I can learn all sorts of traditions like that. You're in luck, because I can suggest few places you can go. So, let's go!
The first stop of the traditional culture visit in Tokyo, Japan is the Kabuki theater dance. This performing art dates from the Edo period in the 17th century. It's a popular blend of dance, mime, and music, with elaborate costumes and makeup. The female roles are played by men known as onnagata or oyama. Kabuki is a good opportunity to hear traditional Japanese musical instruments such as the three-string shamisen. It is surprising to find traditional style Kabuki is a theater in the heart of the modern Ginza. You can purchase a ticket for one act only, if short, and time at the single act box office. During your time in Tokyo, why not learn the historic art of Japanese calligraphy called Shodo? Shodo, also known as Shuji, is a practice of artistic handwriting. It was introduced to Japan from China in the 6th century. Shodo is more than just a style of writing, however. It is a spiritual way of being. The emphasis is on concentration in order to attain a Zen-like state of being known as mushin, or empty-minded. If you want to learn Shodo, I recommend this place, Yanesen Culture Center in Yanaka. There, an expert tutor will patiently show you how to create calligraphy characters such as the word peace, love, life, or Japan. You're encouraged to go slowly, and afterwards, you'll be able to take home one of your finished creation as a souvenir. If you want more action and more interactive session, why not take class in the taiko drum lesson? So what is taiko? Taiko is a traditional Japanese percussion using large drums. Taiko drumming has played an important role in historic Buddhist ceremonies for almost 2,000 years. It was later used to send coded messages and to coordinate troops on the battlefield. These days, it's still very popular during festivals. And also, to learn taiko drumming, you don't need any particular musical skill or strength. You'll get a demonstration from the expert drummers who then teach you the basic of taiko rhythms before you perform your own version. There are ample opportunities to ask any question about taiko during the session. It is advised to wear fairly loose clothing as the session can be quite strenuous. So if you want to learn how to play these traditional drums, head to the Taiko Lab, which is in Shibuya City. There, you can join in for an hour session where you can learn the basics of playing the drums. At the end of the session, you'll have the chance to perform a short performance along with the others to put your learning skills to the test.
So that was the suggestion of the place if you want to indulge into the deep, rich cultural traditional experience in Tokyo. Pretty cool, isn't it, right? What? You want to learn more about Tokyo? Fear not, my dear friends, because my friend here is going to take my place and he will explain more about the magnificent Tokyo. Take it away, my brother.
baseball was first introduced to Japan in 1872 after the Meiji Restoration, but it was not until the end of the World War II that the sport progressed to become one of the most popular sports in Japan. Horace Wilson introduced baseball to Japan between 1862 and 1873 in the early Meiji era. Wilson was a professor at Kanzei Greco, now Tokyo University. In 1873, Albert Bass and Americans teaching at Kaitako University organized the first team. The first Japanese baseball team, the Shibashi Athletic Club Athletic, were organized in 1878 by railway engineer Hiroshi Hiraoka and ardent baseball Red Sox fan from his day as a student in the United States. Organized the first Japanese baseball team, the Shibashi Athletic Club Athletic. On May 23, 1896, on the site of what will become Yokohama Peace Stadium and later Yokohama Stadium, the first international game of the baseball was played in the country. The Ichiko team of the first high school of Tokyo defeated an American team from the Yokohama Country and Athletic Club. During the first part of the 20th century, amateur baseball was the top draw. University baseball was just starting at the turn of the century with the showcase, the annual match-up between the baseball club of Waseda University and Keio University. The first National High School Baseball Championship, commonly known as Summer Caution, was first held in 1915. A decade in 1924. Later, the first National High School Baseball Invitational Tournament, commonly known as Spring Caution, took place. Professional baseball, called Puro Yayu, has existed in Japan since 1920. The first professional league was founded in 1936. In 2005, the Shikoku Ashland League was founded, marking the first independent league from MPB since the Kukumin League in 1947. Baseball really began to gain popularity in Japan during the post-World War II period, thanks to the Americans who promoted the sport heavily and the Japanese corporation that backed the team as sponsor, and still to do this day. A series of exploration games played with American baseball legends like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Joe D'Amago also helped popularize the sport. That's a bit of information about baseball in Japan.
In the early 2000s, international brands started taking interest in setting up shops around Tokyo to become a part of this fashion-forward movement. Today, Tokyo is regarded as a melting pot of culture, style, and trends in the world of fashions. Known for its diversity and boldness, Tokyo street fashion is about people expressing who they are through their clothing. Unlike the who wore it better mentality of Western culture, Japanese street fashion embraces harmony and collaboration. Tokyo street fashion has a long history, stemming from the youth protests against the Vietnam War in the 60s. How the protesters' dress became a representation of the historical uprising, taking the term fashion statement to a whole new level. Nowadays, fashion in Japan highlights the importance of self-expression in a country with very restricting traditions.